I am very excited to see you today because we're making one of my all-time favorite things, horchata. But it's not just any horchata. It is my toasted coconut horchata, which means that it is dairy-free and vegan-friendly, so just about anybody can enjoy this. So to kick off the recipe, I already have my pan here preheating under medium heat. I'm using an induction top, so this is gonna be a fairly quick process. Then once this is ready, I'm gonna go ahead and toast the cinnamon, the coconut, and the almonds. For this recipe, I am using coconut chips, which are larger shreds of coconut. And you can generally find these at like Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Just go ahead and make sure that you're looking in the baking aisle. So the pan does feel ready and I'm gonna lower the heat. I don't want anything to burn. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add the almonds, the coconut chips, and then I'm adding my cinnamon sticks and I'm gonna break them in half. And you wanna make sure that you're babysitting this so that nothing burns. And I do recommend using a larger pan for this. You don't want to use a smaller saucepan because you don't want to overcrowd things. You really want to make sure that everything is on an even level so that everything toasts at the same rate. If you happen to use a saucepan and you overcrowd things, what's going to happen is that you're going to have things on top of other things and not everything is going to be toasting at an even rate. So we're just going to let this toast for about 2 to 3 minutes. I really just want to see some browning on the coconut chips and on the sliced almonds. And I want to make sure that the cinnamon starts to wake up and becomes a lot more fragrant. People will often ask why it is that I like to use sliced almonds in my horchata, and that's just quite simple. I don't really like to add any extra dairy aside from the condensed milk because I find overly milky horchatas to be kind of cloying or empalagosas. So adding the almonds is really just gonna add some extra creaminess so that we're not missing any extra dairy. It's nice and toasty. Everything has a nice even golden hue to it. And now I'm just gonna place this in a bowl. And this is where my rice is gonna be steeping along with the coconut and the almonds. So now that I have my toasted ingredients in here, I'm gonna be adding my rice. And then I'm also gonna be adding a couple of cups of hot water. The reason that we're using hot water is to extract a lot more flavor from the ingredients and to also minimize the time that our mixture has to sit. In about 3 to 4 hours, this is gonna be ready. You just have to ensure that the water that you're using is hot to the touch, but not boiling because we don't wanna cook the rice. We just really wanna help soften everything up so that when we do go blend it, everything is gonna be a lot smoother. And again, we're just gonna be able to extract so much more flavor. So I'm gonna let this sit for 3 to 4 hours. And then when we come back, we are gonna finish up. So I'll see you in a little bit. So it's been about 3 hours and my mixture is ready to go. And the way that you can tell is by taking a rice granule, and if you can easily snap it in half, then it's ready, it's done. I'm gonna pop this top off. And then just gonna be pouring my mixture into the blender. Need to be gentle, otherwise it's gonna make a big mess, and it always happens to me. Last week I was making a cake and I had turned on my stand mixer, not realizing that it was already on. So as soon as I plugged it in, it turned on and flour just went flying everywhere. And I was done for the day. I was like, I am not working, this is a sign. And it was so frustrating, but you live and you learn. Gonna pop the top back on, and then we're gonna let this blend for about a minute at high speed. This is already looking so good and so creamy, and we haven't even added any of the coconut milk or the coconut condensed milk yet, and I cannot wait to have this. To strain this, I'm gonna be using a bag, and this is what you would typically use if you happen to make like almond milk or oat milk at home. I find that this does a way better job than like a traditional metal strainer. You could also use like a metal mesh coffee filter. That works really well, but it also just takes a lot longer time. This is just going to be a lot quicker and a lot more efficient. So I'm just gonna dump this in there. This kitchen tends to get really hot, so I have a fan directly in front of me, and I'm testing out a new cologne today, and it keeps coming up to my nose, and it makes me feel so happy because it's such a good scent. I had originally purchased a new cologne for my husband, and so I tried it on and he really liked it on me, and I've been really enjoying it. It's called Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton, and it's a little expensive. It's usually what I gift him for like special occasions, but he really likes it on me. And one of the things that I really love about it is that it reminds me of my mom's house in Colima. It's a very fruit-forward fragrance, and to me, it smells like mangoes and tamarindo. And so in Colima, at my parents' house, they actually have a really big mango tree in their backyard. And so the last time that I was there, I just remember, I distinctly remember the smell of green mangoes and that like lush tropical greenery. And so getting waves of this fragrance as I'm recording just brings a smile to my face. This is just about done. I'm gonna toss this, I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I'll be back to finish this up. To wrap up the horchata, I'm going to combine my strained mixture. Then to this, I'm gonna be adding a can of light coconut milk. And you wanna make sure that it's light coconut milk and not full fat, because the moment that you add ice to this, those fat globules, because coconut milk is very fatty, will start to solidify, so you'll have a bunch of little floaters inside of your glass. I know a lot of people don't like having those little fat globules. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to get around with coconut milk because it is so fatty. But if you want to try to minimize that even more, what I would suggest is to finish crafting the horchata, put it in the fridge so that it gets cold, and then you're able to skim off any of those little extra globules that you might have missed. To this, I'm gonna be adding a can of coconut condensed milk, and you can easily find this at like Walmart or Target, Whole Foods, or any other health store in your area. Because we're using the coconut condensed milk and the coconut milk together, we're keeping this vegan friendly and dairy free. So just about anybody can enjoy this. Of course, if you're allergic or you just don't like coconut, I have plenty of other horchata recipes in the book that are gonna be perfect for you. And now all that's left is just to add some cold water to this. We can give it a stir. I overfilled just a tiny bit. I'm gonna fill my cups with ice. You can pretty much serve them as is, or you can take it a step further and add a cinnamon stick. I'm just gonna place this along the rim. And then you can finish this with a sprinkle of that toasted coconut. Now to give it a taste and see how we did. She is talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, but most importantly, she is refreshing. It is so good, so creamy. And this is especially perfect for my non-dairy girlies out there. You are not going to be having any accidents after a glass of this. I really want to thank you for tuning in today. You can find the full recipe link in the description bar below, but you can also find it in my cookbook, Chicano Eats, Recipes from My Mexican American Kitchen, which you can find just about anywhere that books are sold. And if you don't have a copy yet, I would highly recommend picking one up because we will be cooking from this pretty often here on this channel. You guys, I have some horchata to go share with my husband, so I'm gonna catch you in the next video. Until then, nos vemos pronto y salud.